The real estate world is changing. Opportunity is everywhere. It has never been so easy to connect, share, and bring people together. We're learning from others and finding the very best in ourselves. Challenging our beliefs, overcoming our fears, transforming ourselves so we can transform our business. This is Investor Creator.
What's up, guys? Brad here with another episode. I wanted to share something with you, and it really relates to an episode that I did a couple of episodes ago. So the previous episode that we did was our case study doing $1 million plus in equity every month. So that's our equity capture. And guys, it doesn't look like that's slowing down whatsoever. In fact, I think it's increasing. Today's the 5th of the month. I know that we have 3 $100,000 net equity deals and then another 3 or 4 on top of that. And so things are definitely not slowing down. But, I'm here in the cul-de-sac with my kids. It's Sunday afternoon, day before Labor Day, and just had this thought. So the episode before that, I talk about one of the biggest issues that I see in the business is this idea of misallocation of resources. So that it doesn't take time or money at all in any length to create a successful business. And I get it that that's kind of what the gurus teach. And they kind of say that you don't have to have any time or any money to make something happen. And I just don't see that to be true. And I do want to be honest with you guys, the way that I see it. So the episode before the last episode, so 2 episodes ago, I had my phone. It was like 2 a.m. and I had insomnia, and I was talking about this issue that I see that people have this wrong idea of allocation of resources, that somehow if they do a Facebook post and they have some business cards, that deals are going to chase them down from their front door to their mailbox. Okay, so like they're just going to get tackled by deals. And guys, that's just not true. It's just not how it is. And I think that anybody that's been successful at a high level at anything would agree that it takes time and effort, and in the business world, generally a little bit of money to create what they need to create. Okay, I didn't say a ton of money, but something. Okay, you can't be behind on your rent and make this business work in general. Okay, so let's just kind of talk about that. I had a couple of emails come in, and I was kind of surprised by it, but I think it was a net positive result. So I had a couple of emails come in where the people said, Brad, I listened to your podcast and I'm thinking about getting into the business. You make the business sound hard. And I really, based on the last episode, I'm not sure if the business is for me. You made it sound difficult, and I just don't know that I really want to do this. And I think that that's a very positive response, because if you think the business is going to be easy, then you don't have the right mindset going in. And if my podcast scared you away, and that it's that easy to scare you out of the business, you shouldn't join in the first place. Okay. But let's just quantify the word hard, because this is really what bothered me about it, right? It's like, how do you define hard? What seems hard to me is working in the corporate world 40, 50, 60 hours a week. And after a year, you get a 1-week vacation, hopefully with your family. And the entire vacation, you're dreading going back to work. Every Friday, you're ecstatic. Every Sunday afternoon, you're depressed because you have to go back to this world that you don't enjoy. You know that you're built for more. And after 20 or 25 or maybe 30 years of doing this, hopefully, you get a fake gold watch. And the watch hopefully has your engraving on it. Okay? That seems hard to me. That doesn't seem like something that I think I can do. Okay? Let's talk about it in terms of relationships. I make a lot of relationship parallels to business in various ways, but let's take a marriage. I have an amazing wife, a wonderful wife. She's kind and beautiful and caring and a great mother, and I could go on and on. But there are times that relationships are difficult. Almost any relationship that you have long term is hard. You know what else is hard? Not having a relationship at all. Not having any relationships. So with that, there was a meme on Facebook that I saw some time ago, and it was just like, choose your hard. Like you can have a great marriage or a difficult marriage. It takes the same energy. You choose what you want to put your energy into. If you are not happy in the corporate world, you're going to waste a ton of energy and a ton of time and a ton of money by not doing real estate. It all comes down to vantage point, right? So I just wanted to share that with you. And the last thing that I want to say is, if you're making decisions on what's hard based on what other people think, like, you're never going to make them happy. I promise you that. Like, if you buy the red car, they'll say that you should have bought the blue car. And if you go and do the entrepreneur thing, they would say, well, you should have been safe and played it safe for your family. And if you play it safe for your family, quote unquote, and you go and do the corporate world, they'd say, oh, that guy's talented. He really sold himself short. You're not going to please those people anyway. So just smile and nod and do whatever in the hell you want to. It's your life anyway. Okay. To talk about that and safety and security, there's no safety in the corporate environment. Like, I've known so many people that have worked for a company for 20, 30-ish years get fired or laid off just so that another round of cheaper employees can come in, because it comes down to the dollars and cents and the long-term vitality of that company. So these are the things that you have to weigh for yourself. So I think instead of thinking about what's hard and what's easy, it comes down to, what do you want for yourself? And instead of hoping for something that's easy, hope for the courage to continue. Hope for the energy to go on, right? Hope for a better mindset so that you can get through the problems. If you are in the corporate world, or you work just a dead-end job, or if you're in the real estate investing world, it's all going to be hard to begin with, okay? But I do think the business becomes easy over time. I'll put it in perspective this way. And I think I'm going to have to do a podcast on ARV here shortly, because this is a really good example of it. So we had a lead come in yesterday, and this is in a prized area of Nashville, an area that's really, really coming up quickly. And so with that, the lead came in yesterday. We didn't get in contact with them yesterday. We got in contact with them today, and we thought the numbers were something like this. So the mortgage was 0. Their asking price was 170. The repairs were 10. And on Zillow and Redfin and PropStream, it showed a value of about 210,000. Okay. The value is closer to like 330 to 350. Okay. This is in a very, very quickly appreciating area. And James tagged me on our CRM and said, hey, can you look at this? I really can't tag a value on this. Let's just see what you think. And so within 2 minutes, I saw what the value really was, because I was not looking at estimated values based on these calculators. I was looking at the comparable sales, and one street over, there was one very similar size, I think has less aesthetics from the curb, sold for 330 very, very quickly, was not rehabbed well, all of that. Okay. So all in all, we picked up this afternoon, a $10,000 equity position on a deal that we would have missed had we not had a good understanding of value. So I think I want to talk about values here in a podcast in the next week or two. But all that to say, all of this happened while James was on the lake. I was taking care of my sick wife, okay? And my kids were downstairs watching Daniel Tiger, right? Was that hard for me to get that transaction? No, it wasn't. Anything is easy once you get good at it, right? My little girl's playing the violin, okay? She's learning this song called Lightly Row, and when she has to practice it 3 times a day. Whenever she started, she hated it. Now she really enjoys playing this song. Why? Because now it's easy, right? Her teacher actually says, practice does not make perfect. Nobody's perfect. Practice makes easy. And that's a truth. So define what hard means to you. Do you want to stay in this dead-end job? Do you want to stay in the corporate environment? Do you want to own a business and be an investor? And that's 100% up to you. And if you choose the corporate world, that's great. It's okay. The entrepreneur world is not for everybody. But understand that choices have consequences. And so what I would submit to you is look at things on the perspective of, what do I want to look back on myself and tell myself that I did, right? So I look at it in terms of my deathbed experience. I want to be maybe 102 years old and say I did it and I have no regrets. And to be able to say that with my friends and family around me, and not because they have to be, but because I was good to them. Okay. That's kind of the litmus test that I make decisions on that are really, really impactful in my life. And I would submit to you that if you look at things and say, in 10 years, what am I going to wish that I did? Am I going to wish that I stayed in this or I tried? Right. So think about that. So if you are scared away by a little bit of work and that it might be quote unquote hard. It's probably not for you, but if you know it's going to be hard anyway, and you really, really want the business, you really, really want this for yourself, then I feel like you can do it. So I just wanted to shed some light on that, bring a little bit of clarity, and talk about those emails. I thought it was interesting, and hopefully it's interesting to you as well. So really excited about what's going on in our business, what's going on in the industry. If I can help you, let me know. Brad at bradsmotherman.com. We will see you next time. Happy investing.